Yeah. So there was a question regarding 40th verse, because it is an important verse which kind of sets a conviction. In everyday life, even when there is an earnestness to apply these principles, because of our past momentum in the mind, our habits, the way we think, and the influence of the society and people in our life, our minds tend to take a bit or forget or get confused, etc., and get carried away by certain impulsiveness within ourselves or from the world, get pulled away in that direction. To pull it back into one's own dridhata, conviction of Karam Yoga, 40th verse is essential to digest, because this is a place where it's directly stated what are your advantages of following Karma Yoga in your life. The more you get clarity about these advantages, the more you have an alternative pull mechanism within yourself when the mind has been carried away by the world. When I say pull, means a counter force within yourself to bring you back steadily on your conviction. How strong your conviction is how steady one will be able to be in principles of Karma Yoga. First level is to know it. Second level is to be clear on it through one's own reflection, understanding, then making auto corrections within oneself when action, field of action, karmas we are engaged in. This becomes like a habitual exercise. Habitual as in practice. It's a practice that one consciously, deliberately includes in one's life. How steady are we going to be is dependent upon how our mind is agreeing upon the usefulness of bringing Karma Yoga in our life. Because when the mind goes away with the senses, for many of us it may go away for months and years, and sometimes wise most of the people, after knowing, still not able to come to a spiritual path to their satisfaction, that they are happy engaging their life with. They are seeking. Why is it that after a lot of attempts, one just kind of wanes it away? Because one's own understanding and conviction of this is not clear. So 40th verse has given us some very strong points. They're like carrots, because our minds are result oriented at the end of the day. Before we do Karma Yoga, we are already a karmi. Karmi means those who are acting only out of a need for results, for phalicha, for phal bhoga. ये स्वाभाविक है. There is nothing wrong in it. It's not looked down upon. It is natural that we will only be acting out of a need felt for enjoying certain fruits, and karma then flows automatically in that direction. So before Karma Yoga is introduced in our actions, all of us are karmi. Karmi means those who are acting out of desires. कर्म की फल के भोगने की इच्छा रखने वाला कर्मी है. कर्मी उसका नाम है. ही इज अ कर्मी मीन्स कर्म कर रहा है. एंड उसके माइंड में, उसके इरादों में has full doubtlessness कि कर्म से जो फल मिलेगा उसी में आनंद आएगा, मालूम है, knows that it is not necessary आएगा, but the hope that lingers on the success of the fructification, that hope is what is seen as a potential of anandam, happiness. This here Krishna has said, giving very clear the carrot. So I'm just repeating this, connecting the thought flow again once more, because how much is our mind going to be following it is based on how much is this conviction settled. So there was a little doubt. The verse I'm repeating, its explanation again. Na iha abhikrama nashaha asti. Here, there is no destruction of any action which is done as karam yoga. This was a doubt. Abhikrama nashaha asti. I have said krama relates to a sequence, relates to like a krishi farmer, he will put seed first, etc. There is a sequence in action. If you alter the sequence, your action will be lost. It is not going to have the intended result. So, abhikramaha, Bhashyakara used very beautiful, simple explanation to draw home the point between karma and karam yoga. What is abhikramanashaha? He said abhikramanam, abhikramaha, prarambhaha, tasya nashaha na asti. So what is abhikramanashaha, word meaning of it? What is the meaning of this pada, this word that is used in the moolam? Abhikramanashaha is not there, is the moolam. Abhikramanam means abhikramaha. And all these words, if you don't understand, Bhashyakara just gives a simple example, a simple word meaning prarambhaha. जिसका आपने अगर प्रारंभ किया है, जिस कर्म को आपने प्रारंभ किया है as कर्मयोग, नाशः नास्ति, उसका नाश नहीं होगा. Then he gave the example, yatha krishyadehe. Just as नाश किसका होता है? He says, नाश उसका होता है, anything like a farmer when he sows the seed, he doesn't know for sure कि his beginning, his initiative, that effort that he is putting in by sowing the seed, that this effort will be successful, that he will get a crop yield. He's got no certainty. It is quite likely, it is possible that nature can play its role and his entire crop can get devastated, can get destroyed. The entire crop can be not giving a result to him at all, though he has put in an effort, though he may have nurtured it, though he followed the sequence. Even then, there is a possibility that the beginning of his action itself gets destroyed. Whereas in Karam Yoga, he says, whatever you have initiated, those are not ever going to have a nasha like that of a laukik karma. किसी भी लौकिक कर्म में, when you don't have karma yoga in your attitude, all your initiatives in the world, whether it's business, whether it's service, whether it's handling a home, anything that you undertake, any undertaking of yours has equal probability of success and failure. Means destruction. Failure means destruction. Before giving its result, it can completely be destroyed. Nahi milega. Karam Yoga, what is the great advantage? He says, ऐसा कुछ कर्म योग में नहीं होता. Karam, even if it gets destroyed, फल अगर वो नहीं भी दिया, आपका कर्म for some reason has got destroyed, कर्म योग का फल मिलेगा. There is a thin line of difference. कर्म योग से ही कर्म किया एक इंसान, one person does action with an attitude of karma yoga. Another person does action with an attitude of phala yoga. I am supposing I take a class saying I want this knowledge, I want the knowledge to spread, I want it to grow, I want etc. Some sakamata I have from that action. That is one action why I say I am taking classes. There is an attitude that I can bring in, that I am best, I can do whatever I can do. This is the best I'm doing. If it's benefiting, arpanamastu. If it's not benefiting, arpanamastu. My job is only to do this. Now it is very likely that the class can discontinue. It is likely that there are no people in the class and I can end the class. It is likely that the physical aspect of the karma can end at any point of time. It is not necessary that it will continue and continue and continue. That I will have people in the class that I'm going to talk to. That they will be there who will get inspired and who will attend. And therefore, no, there is no guarantee with reference to karma. But if I have karma yoga in my attitude, there is 100% guarantee that the karma yoga will give me the phal. What is karma yoga meant for? It is a nishkama karma. It is meant to be not. It is meant to neutralize my sakamata. I can get obsessive about any action. I can get desire-ridden in any action. I can get result-oriented in any action. I can look for more people in the class. I can look for more following. I can look for... There is a desire that can push me to take a class for my sake. A desire I can use the field to give me honor. I can use the field of activity to give me respect. I can use the field of activity for something that will fulfill me. कर्म यही रहेगा. कर्म योग से अगर किया है तो हो सकता है if कर्म खत्म भी हो जाए, field of activity wind up हो जाए. But will I lose anything? Apparently, what will it be? It will be that the class is not there. But internally, what will be? The phal of Karam Yoga would have reaped. Maybe now or maybe, though Shastra says immediately. But we take into account, even if it is in time. अगर आप कर्म योग से कर्म कर रहे हो, कर्म का इनिशिएटिव जो है वो हो सकता है anything can happen like any other action. But कर्म योग से अगर किया कर्म है तो कर्म योग तो मिलेगा फल. First thing, उसका कोई नाश नहीं है. You have to, I don't know how well I can explain this better now. Maybe after a few weeks I'll try again, because it is very important to understand why Karam Yoga is the greatest gift to human beings. इससे बड़ा कोई उपहार जीवन में मिल नहीं सकता है. Those who can discover the attitude of Karam Yoga after learning what is Karam Yoga, and they can discover it within themselves. It's not an easy discovery. I won't say it is easy or difficult. Even if it is difficult, it still remains a gift. If it's easy, wonderful. Even if it is not easy, its value is unparalleled. There is nothing else that can give entry into spiritual realm to a person. Baki sab, that's why the following verses are so important. They're all one huge link. Karam Yoga, having shown the benefit, the first carrot he gives is be assured in your mind. A lot of people feel when I start a karma that if I don't get something out of it, I will lose. Arjuna was also going to say later on, if I don't get anugraha of following dharma, then मैं तो ना इधर का ना उधर का. So if I don't do an action just because of my salary, or I don't do an action because I will get paid more, or I don't do an action because I will be recognized more, then what will happen? Everything will disappear. If these verses are not clear, the fear, the doubt will linger. That means I must go back and strengthen my conviction, redo the verses, re-understand the topic till the fear dissolves. What is it? शास्त्र है ना ये कोई किसी इंसान का दिया हुआ ज्ञान नहीं है that उसका कोई इंटरेस्ट होगा वहां पे. Shastra is like she's a mother, she's a Shruti, she's a mother Shruti, she's a Mata. Uska benefit is humanity, is humankind. She's not going to give something which is not beneficial to another human being or is detrimental. So if Shastra says, Karam Yoga का कोई नाश हो ही नहीं सकता, means ऐसा हो नहीं सकता कि आपने कर्म योग से कुछ किया और आपको कुछ नहीं मिला. As simple bhasha as I can put it in Hindi. Means it is not possible that you have done Karam Yoga and you did not get anything. Not possible. It's because nash hai hi nahi uska. I hope this point is clear. Karam mein kya hai? You can get it, you need not get it. Karam mein nash ho sakta hai. Everything can go against your basic planning. There are so many people, so many great in the field of, especially in the field of artha and kama. You see so many people start and then something goes wrong and then they try again and try, etc., etc. Finally, they do get success many times. ये हो सकता है कर्म में. Every time you'll have to pick up your inspiration, your initiative, your enthusiasm, start again. You'll have to work on yourself. Karam Yoga में नाश नहीं है. That means 100%, if there is anything like 1,000, whatever Karam Yoga is to bring to you, it will bring to you. The minute somebody understands this, आपके मन में क्या होगा? What will happen?
So it starts with a feeling of implicit trust and faith.
Correct.
That is the first base.
शांति मिल जाएगी. With that trust you will start. But if that trust is now there, instantly your mind will stop seeking. It'll get shanti. A lot of inner relaxation. In a way, कुछ जो पकड़ के जो मन को बांधता है, रिलीज हो जाएगा. Yes, freedom to that an extent. Which means first part is this. This is just the first game. हर कर्म में क्या हो सकता है? आपको फल मिल सकता है, नहीं मिल सकता, कोई और फल मिल सकता है, कुछ भी हो सकता है. Remember these terms now. कर्तुम, अकर्तुम, अन्यथा वा कर्तुम शक्यम. शक्नोति. कर्तुम शक्यम, अकर्तुम शक्यम, अन्यथा वा कर्तुम शक्यम. This I'm going to relate directly to 47th verse, building the link now. कर्तुम शक्यम, अकर्तुम शक्यम, अन्यथा वा कर्तुम शक्यम. कर भी सकते हैं कर्म को. I have a choice, I have a will. अकर्तुम शक्यम, नहीं भी कर सकते. I have a choice, I have a will. अन्यथा वा कर्तुम शक्यम, I can do it another way. I have a freedom of choice. I have a freedom of will. Karam mein, you have these three options. You have these three freedoms. Freedom is one. In these three manner, you can execute it. With reference to any karma, I may do it as ordained, as to be done. I may not do it. I need not do it. Or I may do it another way. Not as ordained, but I'll do another way. How our tradition used to tell us, subah uthe ke, before sunrise, get up, do your little bit of nitya karma after shuddhi, shuchi, after cleanliness, do a little bit of kartum shakyam. I can do it. I can follow it. Akartum shakyam. I won't do it. I won't follow it. Anyatha va kartum shakyam. I won't get up before sunrise, but whenever I get up, I'll do it. I have a choice. Part I have followed, part I will adapt to my own self. I have all these three possible. All three I can do. Here he says, in terms of karma, there is a probability that your initiatives can destroy themselves, leaving you what? आपको क्या हाल होगा आपके मन का कि आपने खूब. A lot of people start young, and then halfway when they're supposed of their life and they're supposed to reap the fruits, some calamity happens and everything is gone. इतने सालों की मेहनत, and then one action or one wrong decision or some external factor, anything, and then you find reasons. Nimit kya hai? What happened? Inquiry starts at that time. The very first part, नेहा न इह अभिक्रम नाशः अस्ति, हो नहीं सकता कि कर्म योग में कुछ नाश हो. That means, I am putting it very clearly as possible. कर्म योग से किया हुआ कर्म, कर्म हम सब, obviously the field of activity will be according to something that you are inclined for, so something you will get from it. कर्म योग से किया हुआ कर्म, वो फल तो मिलेगा ही. कर्म योग का फल मिलेगा. न इह अभिक्रमः नाशः. Impossible that you will not get a result. I think I've emphasized enough. Now, second part of it, it is possible that I was beginning to get some result, but actually what I wanted, I did not get, but I got something absolutely opposite. जो नहीं चाहिए था. It worked detrimental. उल्टा हो गया. I was doing something with an idea that I will get something, but it turned out to be opposite. Means it turned out to give me an opposite result. Pratyavaya na vidyate. And what is Bhagwan saying? Shankaracharya says, Chikitsavat pratyavayaha na api vidyate. Chikitsavat means it happens sometimes that you take a medicine and it gives you an allergy. You didn't know before. What is a medicine meant for? A remedy for an ailment. But that did not work as a remedy, but it created more complication. Karam mein ye possible hai. It is there that you do something, but instead of it becoming to your advantage, it becomes counter. It has a counterness to it. It is disadvantageous to you. Ulta ho jata hai. I don't know how to say it in English. It has an opposite result for you. Chikitsavat. So there are these two examples Bhashyakara has given. Yatha Krisyadehe for Prarabhaha and Yatha Chikitsavat for Pratyavaya. Na vidyate. There is no ना करने का दोष. अकरणे प्रत्यवाय दोष नहीं है. Means, can you see the link? करने के फल 100%, ना करने पे दोष नहीं है. Means you will not have counter results. ना करने का मतलब कर्म योग तो आप कर रहे हो, but pratyavaya, in case you miss out and you think in your mind, oh, I didn't do, maybe I'll have an opposite result. Karam ka opposite result ho sakta. That is why in Karam Kand they are very specific, especially even for chanting certain mantras. If it is, they are very careful about the, especially in Mahamrityunjay. If you do ulta, then there's a certain syllable. If it's not pronounced properly, it can have an opposite result. Karam ke realm can have opposite result also. You are doing it for one, but it can have an opposite result. There was one little child who was doing the deeper mantra. Shubham karoti kalyanam arogyam dhana vardhanam sampadam durabuddhi vinashaya. Deepa Jyotir Namostute. Durabuddhi ki jagah, the child would continuously say Mama Buddhi Vinashaya. Mama Buddhi Vinashaya means मेरी बुद्धि का नाश हो जाए. Durabuddhi Vinashaya means मेरी दुर्बुद्धि का विनाश हो. By the light, you are invoking the light as knowledge, and by invoking the lamp, the light, you are praying at that time that may this light be the internal light which destroys my wrong thinking, my wrong knowledge, my wrong व्यवहार, my everything that's wrong in me, दुर्बुद्धि, मेरी गलत सोच को नाश करेगी. But you say Mama Buddhi Vinashaya. One wrong syllabus. Now what happened? Pratyavaya dosh. It'll have an opposite effect. But what happens in Karam Yoga? Even if you do ulta, sab kuch ulta. But if your attitude is right, means कर्म आप नहीं भी कर रहे, ठीक से नहीं किया, पूरा नहीं किया, आधा छोड़ दिया. If I stop the class after today's class, what will happen? I don't have to wait for 18 chapters. If I just stop the class and I say I'm not taking class, what will happen? कर्म तो छूट गया, But if I have done it with Karam Yoga, there is no counter result. The benefit of it doesn't get lost. I'm not ending, please. No. God willing, let there be all 18 chapters completed. Bit. I am definitely wanting to finish it, but karma hai, we don't know. Swalpam api asya dharmasya. Not even a little loss is there. Forget that. You will not get counter result. Forget that. Instead of doing, not only that, even a little, swalpam, api asya dharmasya, even a little done, will take care of all this mental stress. Trayate mahato bhayat. It will take away all the mental burden. It will take away all the things that karma brings. What does karma bring? Supposing I have to initiate, I start a business today. I have no such knowledge in my antakaranam. I only know I have a family to feed. Even if I don't have a family to feed, I have desires to feed. I have to go. I have ichhaएं. I want certain kind of food and certain kind of clothes and certain kind of jewelry, and I want certain kind of trips, and I want certain kind of outings, and I want to enjoy life before I die, man. I'm not going to die like that. I have to enjoy. I'm going to enjoy the best things that are available in creation. I want to enjoy all that. Therefore, I need money. Therefore, I say, okay, let me see, what can I do? I ask 4-5 people and then I start an action. Something I do. When I start an action, some business I do, what all is in my mind? I have to promote, I have to grow, I have to keep, I have to bring, blah, 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 blah. For it to give me yield enough for my desires to fulfill, it must have a lot of money behind it. I should be able to earn a lot. Now, to earn that level of money, I need to create a cycle of karma. And we all know the basic principle of business. Business only grows with more business. You cannot say this much will sustain. You'll have to grow it further. Then you'll have to grow it further. This is the realm of karma. It has its own niyama. It has its own krama. You have to follow it. All this is becoming, I have to do. There is insecurity of result. There is fear of result, counter result. You just don't know how much is adequate. You have to go on pumping the cycle, etc., etc. All this is in one word, mahato bhayat. 2 words, okay. Mahato bhayat. Swalpamapi dharmasya. Even a little done. Karam Yoga. When I say, okay, I need all this, but now, having started this field of activity, I am instantly converting actions into Karam Yoga. I will do my best. I'm stopping there. I know this field of activity is supposed to give this, but I will do what I can and I will do my best as an offering to the higher, to creation, to my client, to whatever you want to name it as. Of course, Karam Yoga will only become full Karam Yoga when you bring Ishvara into the picture. The client is also Ishvara. When that is brought, it becomes a complete Karam Yoga. If you can't stretch that far, initial is yes, some higher, but that's not full Karam Yoga. It's a part Karam Yoga. But that's okay. Ishwar Arpanam will have to be a part of Karam Yoga. I start this and I just say, go ahead and say, okay, I'm doing what I can. I'm doing this as an offering of my capability as we have done in the past. This is my swadharmic activity. This is best what I can do. I am just doing what I am supposed to. There's a question of even offering after that. This is the best I can do. This is the best I will do. and I leave it there. Whatever comes from there, something has to come because it's a realm of action. Action and phal have to be together, whether it gives conducive result or not conducive result. Karam Yoga will always give conducive result. Therefore, what am I now doing? Whatever is the coming, I conduct my life within that. Trayate mahato bhayat. This takes care of all kinds of mental aberrations, disturbances that are there. So, yoga dharmasya anushtitat. Asya dharmasya yoga dharmasya anushtitam trayate rakshati mahatah bhayat. It protects one from the great fear of uncertainties, insecurities, of failure, of not being good enough, of not having done enough, of self-judgment, self-complaint, self-criticism, etc., etc., etc. And that he said, Rakshati bhayat, samsara bhayat, janma marana adi lakshanat, which we have seen when action has been prompted only by desire. That's what has created the cycle of kama, karma, phala. Therefore, janma. To enjoy that, there'll be janma again. Therefore, janma, again kama, karma, phala, bhoga, mrityu, janma. Janma marana cycle continues. That cycle is cut. It's a laser beam. Karam Yoga is a laser beam. What is a laser beam? It cuts the hardest rock. A laser will cut diamond effortlessly. Karam Yoga will cut samsara effortlessly. And that is the great advantage of Karam Yoga. So the three things he said, and that how much does one have conviction? It works to pull the mind back from sakamata, pull the mind back from its involvement when it gets involved in samsara. Knowing this clearly helps to bring it, return it back to its conviction. And then the next few verses, remember the context. The context here is Krishna is pulling up Arjuna to say, कर्म तो करना पड़ेगा, मगर कर्म तुम ऐसे करो कि ये कर्म तुमको तुम्हारी गति की तरफ ले जाए, towards your shreyas, as you're asking. Opposite of that shreyas is prayas. So what Karma Yoga will take you to shreyas. Everything auspicious comes in your life. Impossible, I'm repeating it because it is impossible for it not to come. That's it. It's a niyam. Opposite of it is what? He says people give you a lot of solutions. Like I said, supposing I have a desire, I'll start a business. कर्म के बहुत कर्मों की options हैं. There'll be a lot of Laukik and Vedic karmas for fulfillment of desires. There are many options in the world for karma. That is vyavasayatmika buddhi, na vyavasayatmika buddhi. There are many options. Bahushakhaha, each will have many varieties. Those realm of actions which only have their own results ordained to them are all because of aviveka buddhi. If you think ye karam se mujhe ye phal milke, I will be tripped. Mera to ho jayega kaam. My life will be settled. My life will be fulfilled. I would have done what, agar if I can do this, I would have achieved it all. No. Because fulfillment of desire is not going to give you the fulfillment of your being that you are. It has not brought you closer to that. Fulfillment of desire has kept you in a cycle of more desires and therefore more action, and therefore uncertainties of the results always loom on you. So, when there is no viveka buddhi, what is the right thing to do and what is the right way to do? करना तो सबको है, सही तरीका क्या है जिससे हम करें? What is the right way to do? That, he says, those people who give you all these flowery words, do this and you will get that, and etc., etc., all these people are aviveki. They will put you in the cycle of samsara. They'll give you flowery words, they'll attract you. It's like, how when you go to buy a house, how does a property dealer or retailer, whoever he is, how does he sell it to you? Flowery words. The view here is so beautiful. See this, the price of this is because of it. Give you flowery words to attract you to the package. Which package? Package of karma. In the Laukik world, the world will attract you. Do MBA, you'll get this. Do this, you'll get that. Do etc. And then do this and shift your career graph from here to there to there to there. And it's all very flowery words. Nobody tells you the hardship that comes along. Nobody tells you the nuances that are hidden in it. You have to discover them. They are unsaid words, part of your world, but nobody describes them. Therefore, you're not unprepared for them. Flowery presentation. Those people are glorifying the results, etc. These are those that will take you into that direction. They think less, they give flowery words. Realm of karma is like that. Therefore, they're attracted to future fruits and they'll invest everything today for some future. Swarga paraha. They want Swarga pradhan life. Kamatmanaha. They are interested in only kama purushat, artha and kam, and phala. Therefore, they engage in a lot of karmas. They get engaged in doing a lot of things and want to bhoga ishwarya. Bhoga and aishwarya, they want to enjoy. But because of which, what happens? Whatever little thinking they had in life that they started with, even that gets lost. Aparata chetasam. So your mind has gone even more distracted and bikhar gaya. You've gone into the realm of samsara. It will only bring in more and more samsara. It's a vicious circle. Correct. It's a vicious cycle. Yes. It puts you into a vicious cycle. That's the right word. Puts you into a vicious cycle. Karma puts you into a vicious cycle. It's vicious. By the word, it is vicious. That's why it's a vicious cycle. Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya paratachetasam vyavasayatmika buddhihi samadhau na vidhiyate. So, such people who get carried away by these flowery words and realm of karma, in other words, as I've put in the context today again, in other words, those who do karma without karam yoga, Samadhau na vidhiyate vyavasayatmika buddhihi na vidhiyate means they are not obviously going to have any maturity inward, any fruit that can mature the mind towards their own conscious being, who they are, towards their own self. It won't internalize the person. It will keep you extroverted. It will keep you in the realms of the external. Samadhi antakaranam buddhihi tasmin na bhavati. They won't have the vivasayatmika buddhi. And then he said, understand, O Arjuna, that the realm of karma is pertaining to the world only. ये दुनिया से ही है, दुनिया में ही है, दुनिया ही मिल सकती है इससे. Which means whatever its constituents are, त्रैगुण्य विषया वेदाः. Its topic is only in the realm of prakriti, matter, which is made up of three gunas. Here ends 41st to 46th verse, 45th verse. Showing why karma is not adequate to give you what you want. You have to do karma yoga. Therefore, Arjuna, karma has all these flaws in it. Karma में दोष है. दोष को हटाना कर्म योग का काम है. कर्म दूषित है. Karma has flaws. It has faults in it. So, O Arjuna, you get attracted to the phal that Karma Yoga can give you. अपने कर्मों को जब आप निष्काम करके करोगे, when you work with Karma Yoga, you be attached to that. Nistraikunyaha. You look at what is beyond the three gunas. What is not affected by the three gunas. What doesn't fall in the three gunas. The three gunas is just prakriti, is all maya srishti. Maya srishti. आज ऐसी है, कल ऐसी है, कल ऐसी है. It's fascinating reflection. If Vedanta doesn't make you reflective and makes you dynamic alone, if it makes you dynamic and reflective, you're on the right track. If you only become dynamic and not reflective, you are missing out on the real nectar of Vedanta. What is Vedanta saying? It will say, this entire realm of your srishti, you're looking at it now. मुझे आज क्या है? 5 साल का goal, 10 साल, 30 साल, 25 साल. By old age, this. You are only looking at this little part of your creation. Who are you? Do you look at that ever? What is this consciousness? How am I thinking? How do I become aware of the thought? How am I not aware of my thoughts? So many of us are not even aware of our own thoughts and feelings and emotions. In fact, 90% of our thoughts, feelings, I'm giving an arbitrary figure, 90% of our thoughts, feelings, emotions, we are not aware of. हमें पता ही नहीं हमारे भाव क्या हैं, हम सोचते क्या हैं, हमारी इंटेंशंस क्या हैं, हमारा विचार क्या है, हमारी इरादे क्या हैं. हम सोचते ही नहीं, हमें पता ही नहीं है, क्योंकि हम सोचते नहीं. We are not aware of our own self. We are not aware of our own thoughts. We are not aware of our own feelings. We are not aware or in acceptance of who we are fully. Because we just take it for granted that this is what I have to do, this is what I have to get. The cycle of life is very limited. O Arjuna, you rise above this. You get anchored at a higher point in life. कुछ और पकड़ो. सृष्टि के बीच की चीजों को पकड़ोगे तो सृष्टि में ही रहोगे. You cannot escape the struggles of life there. You have to face the bhaya, the fear of creation that is inherent in creation. You have to face the fear of loss and failure and have struggles and be uncertain. You have to be stressed. You have to be anxious. This is a part of your creation. Nistraigunyaha. Arjun, when you have to do your activity, when you have to act now in the world, nobody's asking you to run away to sannyas, take Himalayas or something. It's very fascinating. When people go to ashrams and, when you go to take sannyas or even go to ashrams, people think, those who are in the world think, Are kitna aaram milega unko wahan. They have nothing to do. But actually you realize that you have a whole lot of new, fresh activity to do there also. What are the new? You will have a teacher over there can also be a cleaner. Will have to do the cleaning also. Will have to do so many things you will end up doing, which you otherwise in the world, when you are sitting in a high position of your job, you are eliminated from all of the work. Menial task also you will do. Everything you can do, you will have to do. Which means, karam jab karna hai to hai. There is no escape. Whether you are in this field or you leave as if you have left everything and you are going to pursue, go to Himalayas. If you are in a cave also, you will have karma to do. Karam karna hai nahi hai, mein choice nahi lo. You have a choice, don't take the choice. You have to do your karma. Nistraigunya bhava Arjun. You be nistraigunya. You look at something higher and do your karma now. For that sake. Nirdvandvaha. Be relatively freed of the afflictions of the pain and the pleasures that come in the process of you doing your karma. Establish yourself in promoting what is sattva, managing a tamas and rajas. This in itself is a goal for karma yoga. अपने तमस को हैंडल करना, अपने रजस को हैंडल करना. These two things you can do, which will promote your sattva. After that, free yourself from the cycle of acquisition and preservation. Acquire that much that can keep you within the comfortable position in life. Don't get into the frenzy of what is defined as success in the world. That's not adequate to give you anything. Niryogakshema Atmavan. You be established in yourself, be of a person of a higher intent, be a person of a higher will. Execute it. You have it. Everybody has it. You cannot say nobody has it. If Ravan did not have it, a higher will, higher as in a capacity to execute a will, he has the will, he directs it in a different way. If you direct your will in the right way, you can be Maheshwara over here. So, stick to doing what you're supposed to do, but do it with a higher intent. Discover the higher intent in you. Do it for that sake. And have no lethargy or dheelapan in your chosen activity thereafter. And then he said, a question can be asked here, that if I'm not supposed to work for results, or if I'm supposed to work for result and offer it to Ishvara, and then Ishvara has to give me the result, and you're saying I should not even look for those results, then what am I offering Ishvara for? In other words, this is what the connection Shankara has given in the Bhashyam. Kimartham tani Ishwaraya iti anushthiyante. Kimartham, for what sake? Ishwaraya, to Ishvara. Anushthiyante, should I follow my karmas? If Sarveshu Ved Ukteshu. All that the flowery words that the Vedas have offered from Vedic karma realm and from Laukik realm both, karmasu yani uktani, all those karmas that have been said and the phal that they are supposed to give, anantani falani tani, the innumerable phals that they have offered, promised, na apakshayante. I am not supposed to expect. If I'm not supposed to expect the phal, then for what should I do the karma as arpanam? किस कारण के लिए करूं? For arpanam. It's a very subtle connection. थोड़ा विचार करना पड़ेगा. Get the meaning. Because that connects so well with the next verse. The verse says, for what reason should you do? Why should you engage, say, in Karam Yoga? Because he says, for the one, Karam Yoga will give you Chitta Shuddhi. And Chitta Shuddhi will prepare you for Jnanam, Atma Jnanam. It gives you Jnana Yogyata, qualifying for receiving Atma Vidya. Atma Vidya, we have seen, is what destroys your samsara, burns it. And burning of that samsara is establishing an Atma Vidya. That is establishment of Atma Vidya is called Mukti, is Moksha. There's nothing else called Moksha. Samsara Nivritti is Moksha Prapti. One who is gaining the phal of Moksha, who's gaining such supreme, if your vision has gone higher and you are aspiring for that, and there is no nashaha of your effort here, there'll be no counterproduct. Even a little effort is enough. If you are aspiring for that, then all the small lollipop desires, इच्छाएं जो तुम्हारी छोटी छोटी कर्मों के थ्रू जो तुम्हें प्रॉमिस की गई हैं, ये करोगे तो ये मिलेगा, therefore you will engage in that. Rest assured, they are already added in that. You are already it's already added in the larger goal. वो तो already अंग बन गया उसका. It has become a part of the receipt. You're not directly working for it, but it is already giving you the result. Very fascinating. When you see the Karam Yoga operating in life, just as Atma cannot be described, the phal of Karam Yoga cannot be described. It's not possible. The only person who has been able to bring it to life, their life, can see the effect of it. And they know there is no other way it was possible. The fruits that come, you know your efforts cannot bring those fruits in life. Therefore, Shastra wants people that कर्म तो तुम करोगे ही वैसे भी, सकामता छोड़ के निष्काम करना शुरू कर दो. Don't change your field of activity. Don't change your avenue at all. Do whatever you are doing. Just keep correcting your attitudes. Just keep making refinement in your attitudes. Just keep fine-tuning your attitudes. Every time you see your own swabhavik drishti operating in your karma, correct your swabhavik drishti through vichar, through thinking. Neutralize it and get back to your action. Every time you will do it, you will find the purification has happened. Even if you don't see it, niyam hai that it is getting purified. Your chit is getting purified. And therefore, the example he gave here is, what is when there's a whole pond available, or when there's a flood that has come, what are those small jalashaya, those small pockets of wells of body that you are deriving source of water from? What use are they going to be when there is a whole flood available? So pursuit of Karam Yoga will take you up to Gyan Yoga, will take you to Atmanishtha. उसका जो फल मिल रहा है, उस फल के सामने, what are these small फल of holidays and jewelry and clothes and parties, and I really don't know what other fals can there be, but as we used to say earlier, name, fame, power, position, status, something like this. 4, 5 ke alawa, what else fal is there of all your laukik karma? So, in other words, it gives a great benefit. It's a great benefit. There are 2 examples that I'll take of 2 actual heard examples. I'm not giving my personal examples at all for some, but I've heard this. There was a doctor, fascinated in her young years. Now, everything I'm going to give is 20 years old, 25 years old. Very attracted to Shastra and used to live in Punjab. So, all the kathas, the family was very religious. So she was brought up in a very traditionally religious oriented family. But she was very fascinated because more leaning towards Sikhism. So, Guru sab karta hai, that Guru is that Guru. And Bhagwan te chhod do, all that was very active in her life. So she was fascinated and was not interested to marry or things like that. So she thought, let's try this experiment. कि भगवान वाकई में देखता है. Very scientific minded. She's a doctor. She's a scientific minded person. She's not a blind believer or a superstitious person, and not a non-thinker. Thinking person. Well, let me test. क्या जाएगा? So she left home. She went to Vrindavan, Mathura. She started moving. And whatever reserve she had carried with her was getting over. And nothing was happening. No Bhagwan seen nowhere in life. And that thing started functioning. What now? I made a mistake. Maybe I shouldn't have been so impulsive. But now she's already taken the step. So she said, let's try. So the day her reserves of her own means of her income were almost over, she had no way left but to live on bhiksha. She started going home to home, jaise jaate hain. So she went there, and sure enough, village to village, somebody or the other would keep giving her, and she would eat, and she was just for some time just like that. Then she decided, let me create a plunge. So she wanted to join an ashram in Rishikesh, Haridwar, Rishikesh, somewhere. She went to the station, and Haridwar station, but before that she still wasn't convinced that this is the right Karam Yoga and this path is the right path. So she said, I still don't know. People have been kind enough. It's a tradition in our country that कोई तुमसे कुछ मांगता है तो तुम दे देते हो, So I still don't see Bhagwan. She decided she's going to stay at the station and see, is there Bhagwan? She's not going to ask for bhiksha also. She won't ask. So she waited. She was on the platform. Hunger came. Nothing happened. Nobody gave her food. Obviously, who will give her like that? 1 day, 2 days. She says the second day, third day was starting, and she was absolutely limp, hardly had energy to basics. But she was firm. If I have to understand more, then I need to know if God is there or not. If these laws work. her way of saying, whatever her background was, she used those words. Does this work, really speaking? That day, she says, just when I was about to give up, that all this is humbug, this is humanity ko mislead karna, this is all stupid, I have been foolish. Thank God I only took it as an experiment. It was about 2 months by then. That she could still go back to her profession, she could still go back to doing what she was, and it was a break kind of a thing. Thank God I didn't make that mistake. She was just about to resign, and still something in her held back, and she says, let the day get over. Kya ho jayega? I waited 2 days, let me wait. And that minute she says, even when I'm saying it, I get so much rasa out of it because one knows it works. She says, the minute she ended the thought, sure enough, someone came and gave her something to eat, unasked, and thereafterwards, everything happened in a sequence in such a way that she couldn't explain what happened, how did it happen, and it just changed. And obviously, she then took to a life of dedication because she realized it was impossible. She tested that if you've come to creation, you have come with your own oathly of your own yogakshema. Bhagwan has already ordained your living, some minimum. Your as much life as you have to live, provision has been given for you. Your greed provision is not given. Your ambition provision is not provided. All those things are not provided for you. But survival and a little more is already written with you. Absolutely fascinating. And sure enough, she was happy to be. I don't know where she is now, so don't ask me for the addresses and all that stuff. I really don't know. The story is indicative and it ends there. Karam Yoga has worked not for 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15. It works for everyone who takes to it. The second is actually Swami Tapovanji's story, which I read in his book long ago. I was going through some old books and I picked up, there's a Wanderings in the Himalayas by Swami Tapovanji. I have always found that book very, very inspiring because he was one person who actually was in the Himalayas all his life, pursuing in his own way. It seems he was always traveling in the Himalayas. So one time, I think I've lost the story of it. I've got confused. Forget it. Anyway, the point is conveyed. That it's worked for everyone. What he's saying in this verse, 46th verse is... later.
Okay.
What he's saying...
Sorry, actually.
Yeah.
Since you had wanted to say it, I just said that the wandering in the Himalayas story. So, just that I think the situation was that I think he had not eaten for many days, and then he was actually found by some dacoits who said that, give us whatever you have, and he didn't have anything. So whatever food they had, they actually gave him, and then they went. So he that so it's actually God who, he's actually making fun of God and saying that हे परमात्मा आज आप dacoits के रूप में आए मुझे खाना खिलाने के लिए.
Correct, absolutely. And it is not once, throughout. So the whole idea is that there is what for a normal karmi would look like a miracle. What you call as miracles. जो खुद सकामी होते हैं ना, वो सोच नहीं सकते कि causation का link is not so gross as this where I work and I get. there is a factor in causation, which is the larger connection, which is what we are calling as Ishvara. The causation link gets established from there. So if you look at all these factors, how does Karam Yoga also add to it? So many exactly like this. Everyone, Vivekananda, Swami Ramatirtha, you will find hundreds of examples. There will be more examples of success. In fact, because they're all success, has to be. There are so many examples in this spiritual path. You will have very few examples in the world of success in the world. Very handful of people manage to get to the goal that they have fixed for themselves and have become successful. Handful of people. It is possible. But here you will have hundreds of people who will say, oh, this works. I couldn't have done it till I did it this way. The results are unknown and unseen. Like that. Absolutely correct. Yes, thank you, Akanksha. And in his life, there were many examples like that. So it's a very nice book to just have an inspiration from, because is it still in print? It's still in print. Chinmaya Mission has it.
Hanji.
Chinmaya Mission centers would have that book for anybody who wants to read it. It's very inspiring because, that book, it keeps you in. Sometimes you need an inspiration from someone higher to remind you why this value is necessary. And these are the people who become great inspirers. And that book, because it's his own words, it's like a diary that he has written. Yeah, it's a diary he has written when he had spent a few years there. So, Wanderings in the Himalayas. The book is correct. Am I right, Akanksha? Wanderings in the Himalayas, I think it is, by Swami Tapovanji. So, idea is, there she has the book. How do I bring you? Just say something, you will come on the screen.
The book.
It's a nice read. I want others to see also. How can I make you the center? Here it is. Now say something. No, say something. There. Yeah, people can see now. If you say something, you'll be.
I pinned her, so she should be visible.
Okay.
Okay.
Priyanka.
That's the book. That's right. Fascinating read. It's a nice read for anybody. Thank you.
This is another one which I, have been meaning to read next.
Thank you. Good. Yes, that is another one. Thank you. There is a link also that has come. Archive.org also has a link. On the Facebook, people have sent the link also. Okay. So, what is the main idea? The main idea is that you will be able to. Can you unpin? I can see all of you then. So the idea is that it's very unintelligent way of living a life just for your sake. You have to give an adhyatmic goal in life. You have to give a adhyatmic purpose to life. So if you have an adhyatmic purpose to life, everything seems to be added. Even your little desires for life that you have, small desires everybody has, they will get fulfilled when you follow the higher. Therefore, he told Arjuna, bring that mindset in yourself, in your action. Do that then. And therefore, he says now the 47th verse. He says, what is that? Why Karam Yoga? So I told you, Kartum Shakyam, Akartum Shakyam, Anyatha va Kartum Shakyam. Karma can be done. Karma need not be done. It can be done any other way. In this verse he says, Karmani eva adhikaraha. That you can do the karma. You need not do the karma. You can do it any other way. This is your adhikar. This alone is your adhikar. As a human being, this is your adhikar. अधिकार क्या है? बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड है. अधिकार है मेरा. ये तो मेरा अधिकार है. We all say that. But we use the adhikar word with reference to?
Right.
Okay. And मेरा अधिकार है. When people say तो मेरा अधिकार है.
It's more like hak.
Hak. Absolutely. It is more like hak. Can I have the grid view again, please? Or maybe I have to change it, is it? Maybe I have to change it. Okay, my grid view has to be there. Yeah, it is more like hak. You know, what is hak? He says, hak is where you are demanding it. अपना हक समझना मतलब मेरा तो ये हक है. Krishna says, कर्मणि एव अधिकारः. तुम्हारा हक किसमें है? करने में है. उतना ही अधिकार है. तुम कर सकते हो. कर्म उसका अधिकार है. तुम मत करो. अधिकार है. तुम कोई और तरीके से करो. अधिकार है. बट मा फलेषु कदाचन. फल में तुम्हारा कोई अधिकार नहीं है कि मुझे फल मिलना है, ऐसा मिले, कि मुझे फल इतना मिले, ये मेरा अधिकार है, कि मुझे कोई और फल मिले, ये मेरा अधिकार है. अधिकार word here is used in your field, realm of applicability. It is applicable. This alone is applicable. Karma is applicable. Phal is not applicable to you. You do not generate a phal. फल को जनरेट करने में आपका कोई अधिकार नहीं है. कर्म करने में अधिकार है. कर्म का फल से रिश्ता है. कर्म फल से जुड़ा है. मगर फल कर्म पे निर्भर है. कर्म आप पे निर्भर है. फल मुझ पे निर्भर है. says ईश्वरा, says कृष्णा, says भगवान. तुम कर्म करो, मैं फल दूंगा. मैं कर्म नहीं कर सकता. तुम फल नहीं कर सकते. There's a good question. Entitlement. That's right, Adhikar. I'll take it up tomorrow also. For now, I think we'll end here. Some of you, I think, are still wanting to learn chanting. Dr. Shruti Gupta has kindly agreed to start a new class for you people, for fresh people. It will be a separate class for those who have no background of chanting and want your Uchcharan cleared. I will still do it on the website for my sake, and I'll keep doing it. I've written her, I sent mails to everybody. Some of you have replied, some of you have not replied. If you are interested, I have written her email ID in the chat. Shruti, you can write it in the Facebook comment also. Only for people, not the previous batch, the new batch people. And I think it should be clear who's the new batch and who's the previous batch. Previous batch means you've already learned the chanting. She's already taken your classes. She has already helped you with that. For you people in this class now, rest is all, of course, all mixed up. Whoever wants to learn, on some convenient day, she'll contact you. She has already sent mails to those who had confirmed, and if somebody else wants to confirm, I have put her email ID in the chat box here, and she has put it on the Facebook comment also. So you can start separately. It's a separate thing entirely. This will continue. I will continue putting it wherever my recording systems, my laptop wasn't working, so I'd stopped. I'll do it so you can now have all the avenues, whoever's doing, whichever way. Some of you are already learning in your own way, as you feel comfortable, as you are open to whatever you wish to. From our side, this is, I think, the best one can do. And there's nothing. We'll continue with this tomorrow and continue as far as we can. So, any questions so far?
Deeply, sometimes you are advised that, you read this 108 times or you do this. Sometimes, people advise you that, do a certain mantra so many times. So, I mean, doing it, without having any phal in mind, that can also be considered, if you do it with an intent wherein, you don't expect a phal, but you still do it. Is it the right approach to go about it if someone is saying you should do this mantra and you do it with just...
I'm not sure what the mantras would mean, but there are certain mantras which are only sakam, phal. If you don't want sakam phal, yes, then same mantras can be done nishkam also. It's the same karmas that have to be done nishkam. In
Yes,
fact,
that's what I meant.
that's the purpose of all mantras. Ultimately, even sakam is only just the initial part of it because we want it. Ultimately, the Shastra wants you to get to nishkam. Then only you will have the shanti. Then only you will have all the phal. सकाम करोगे तो सकाम का फल होगा, खत्म हो जाएगा. Then phal has its own cycle. It will get exhausted. Then you will start karma again. Nishkam karoge to you will grow out of the need of the phal itself.
One question, Dipiji.
Mhm.
Verse 40. I mean, I know it's explained very beautifully, but I mean, isn't it obvious if you are saying don't do karma yoga? I mean, that automatically means that I am not doing for a particular phal. But because I have done, obviously I will get something in return. And because I didn't have anything in mind, whatever it is, I will appreciate it because I didn't want anything. But I still got something, so it will always be positive only, right?
Correct. Right. Absolutely. That's another way of putting the same thing. See, the benefits of it are unimaginable. There are so many. These are the small things. Each one will have their own words to put, but the state of mind will be the same.
But I mean, it's that I would obviously not have that benefit in mind before doing it, right? Even if I read this verse and I have this in mind, now it will again become karma, not karma yoga, if I am doing for those benefits.
This is meant for removing the doubt. That's why I started from there. For removing the doubt for those who have hesitation for it. Once your doubt is removed, why do I need the certificate? I don't need a certificate. I know it already. In fact, I will be the one who will be certifying now. I'll lend a certificate. I can prove it. So I'll give a certificate now. I won't be taking a certificate from somewhere. But this is building a beautiful, what is Arjuna's state of mind? He's not in a Karam Yoga state. So what is the process of bringing a person out of samsara? These are the steps. That's why it's a very systematic knowledge in itself. It's knowledge. And the one who knows that if I'm already practiced before I have come to Vedanta, supposing, I was already doing it by some purvam, then this will become just a verification. Yes, of course. See, I knew it, but I did not have a praman to validate it. Now I have a praman. So I cannot say कि मुझे लगता है. I don't have to now take the onus. मुझे लगता है कि हाँ कर्मयोग से बहुत फायदा है, सुना है. No, now there is a praman. So for that reason. Okay. So we'll end the class here. No other question?
I had a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hari Om Deepti ji. So, like talking about Karma Yoga, being in Sansar, there are a lot of actions that we also take which are not a part of our Swadharma. For example, on a very daily basis, I feel there are so many actions which are just for pleasure, but I won't say for extreme pleasure or coming from extreme rag or dvesh, but simply for that purpose. For example, even like going out for a vacation that doesn't have any aspect of swadharma or kartavya involved in it. So how, what should be your attitude towards that, and how do you bring in karma yoga in that?
No, excellent. For such things, it is not a field of activity anyway. Vacation is not a field of activity. The purpose, example, we are taking an example. I know you mean other things, but let's stick to the example. An example like a vacation is not even a field of activity. Its purpose is not action. Its purpose is relaxation. Its purpose is family bond, a friend's bond, whatever, enjoyment. In case of enjoyments, activities that I do which are directly only ends as enjoyments, the principle is don't linger on them. He'll bring it in the 54th verse very soon. Do not linger on your enjoyments. In Tattva, when we did the workshop, end your perception with your perception. Don't carry it in your mind. If you carry the enjoyments and let them linger, that lingering that will create a ripple in your mind, that will create more desires. So your idea is to enjoy as long as you're in the perception. I say always enjoy maximum. Don't compromise on your, if you have taken a supposing example vacation, enjoy to the full. But you know very well it has zero value. You've neutralized that enjoyment before you've started the enjoyment. It is zero value before, because enjoyments are so temporary. They are so flimsy. They can just convert into a bad experience at any point. So I'm not going to give them such a huge value. They are fun, they are nice. Sharir Yatra ke liye bonds are beautiful, relations are lovely to maintain, they have their own rules. Therefore, we have to abide within them also. But having neutralized before, enjoying it fully while I am there, thoroughly in a dharmic way, never going out of the realm of dharma in enjoyment, even more than karma. Enjoy my dharmic activities completely. After they have ended, absolutely, let the natural lingering be there for a day or so, but be very sure you're not holding on to the lingering from your end. the mind will automatically dissolve it and get into other things. That impression will last for a day, 2, 5, whatever, but do not strengthen the impression yourself. Let it wane away, and that's gone. It's gone because there are so many vacations we've already ended in the past.
Not to be carried away with them.
Not to be carried away with them, not linger. He'll come in the 54th verse over here. Beautiful it'll come to. But before that, we are still on a beautiful part of Karma Yoga. So with enjoyments, the formula is no lingering. Enjoyments should be dharmic. Never go out of the realm of dharma to enjoy anything. If dharma prevents it, dharma means it's a nishiddha. शास्त्र निश्चित कुछ कहा है और आपकी समझ से अगर ये गलत है, शास्त्र ने नहीं भी कहा तो भी, if your common sense tells you that it's a wrong enjoyment, your own common sense tells you, abstain from it. So, zero value before, choose your enjoyment within the realms of what is right, legitimate, enjoy it fully, without any reservations then, because it's legitimate. Enjoy maximum. It's like if I've gone on a holiday, say I go to Kashmir, and how am I not going to enjoy the, what is that, boat ride and the skiing if it's a winter season, and the plucking of fruits, whatever you can think of enjoyment. Do full. There should be no thought of anything else at that time. Complete engagement of your senses in the realm of your enjoyment, whatever they are. After that, the minute you've boarded the flight or your train or your bus or whatever, it's now started, the perception's ending. Your vacation's ended, perception ends. So gradually, as it lingers, let there be no lingering, and it ends.
Yeah, can I like follow up on that a bit? That was like very clear. But sometimes the irony is that actions, okay, like time that you allocate to enjoyment actually ends up being not so enjoyable. For example, again, go on a family vacation, you have fight with your family or fight with your friends, which is oftentimes the case. And in that case, it becomes worse because it feels like this time was also wasted because it was spent on allocation. It was not even enjoyable. It might be a very like stupid question, but just wanted to
But that's exactly what I said. See, that's why you give a zero value to vacation. The vacation should not have been your motive then. You went for supposing it's a family vacation or a friend vacation. You are going there because it's supposed to be a family time or a friend time. एक दो बारी में पता चल जाता है कि it invariably lands up in a, why did we go only? It was better off without. Most people have this with reference to vacations. That is why there is a zero value to vacation. The value is put to something else. Say, okay, I went it for my family, or I went for my friends, or, and I know the outcome anyway. I'm not expecting it to be all enjoyable. It cannot be. Why can it not be?
इंद्रियाएं अप एंड डाउन होगा.
इंद्रियां है, अप एंड डाउन होगा. प्लस पहली बात हो गई, एक्सेलेंट. सेकंड,
It is something which is outside. It will never give you happiness. मतलब there will
Okay.
never be happiness from any of this samsaric realms of.
करेक्ट,
हमेशा कुछ अमित होगा, हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ रह
करेक्ट,
जाएगा.
करेक्ट.
It's completely out of your adhyatmic purpose or swadharmic purpose.
चलो उसको भी छोड़ भी दो, वो तो दैट इज फाइन.
Desires are unending. एक डिजायर उठेगी, दूसरी फिर आ जाएगी.
Okay. If you've gone with a family of friends and with the purpose of enjoyments, are your definitions of enjoyment same?
No.
हाँ. और औरों की भी तो राग द्वेष होंगे. I'll give an example. Many years ago, with my mother, I went to America. We went to Niagara. I was very fond of Niagara Falls up to a point. Growing up, falls means एक बार तो life में देखना है. So Joke Falls and Niagara Falls and Niagara there. You can imagine the excitement because since your childhood it had been your dream to see Niagara Falls. My mother has a totally different set of desires. I wanted to go towards the falls and go in that area wherever there is. My mother wanted to go to the shopping center over there. Now what will happen? Do we expect peace? Do we expect peace? Shanti?
No.
My mother has to either come with me to fulfill my desire, or I have to go with my mother to fulfill her desire, which means I have to sacrifice my desire, or she has to sacrifice her desire. क्योंकि दोनों राग से काम कर रहे हैं. When you are out to enjoy, your rag is the expression. It's your if we are a group of 10 people, there are 10 sets of ragas and dveshas functioning. It's not a realm of Vivek Buddhi. So some people will have to give it up, which obviously is going to create clash. So in relations, we go with an idea that it is already a state of compromise. Either I have to compromise or someone else has to compromise for me. So now in fact, very good, because it is because of this understanding that you can enjoy your vacation. If you get the point. If you have the correct understanding of a vacation is meant for, you will still enjoy your vacation. Because your rag and dvesh are going to be managed by you. So, because I know my mother will go there and I will go there, if I don't want a clash, what will I do? What are my options? Kartum shakyam, akartum shakyam, anyatha va kartum. It will apply in everything. What will I do in realms of action? I have a choice to tell her, you go there, I go there. I have a choice to tell her, okay, I'll come for you. I'll come with you for a little while, but I'm going there. I'll tell her, okay, you and I both go together 50-50. Or I have a choice, I give up my desire completely. So your brain will start operating on what are your choices when you have your fundamentals right to maximize your happiness from that vacation. What are your possible loves? So your disappointment question will not arise because you're already working in the principles of limitation and of whatever it's to offer.
Thank you.
Can we end the class? I think we've not ended.
Yes, no. Sarvesham swastirbhavatu, sarvesham shantirbhavatu, sarvesham purnam bhavatu, sarvesham mangalam bhavatu, sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukh bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam न्यायेन मार्गेण महीम् महिषा गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथ्वी शस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं शोभरहितः ब्राह्मणा सन्तु निर्भयः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Nirbhayaha.
The last one, is it?
Yeah. Not
Nirbhaya. Okay.
not nirbhayaha, nirbhayaha.
Nirbhayaha.
Correct.
Next time.
So thank you everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Dipti ji. Thank you so much.
Deepti ji, pranam. Thank you very much.
Pranam.
Thank you,
Thank
ji.
you. Thank you, ji.
Hari Om, Deepti ji.